Einstein said, God does not care about our mathematical difficulties. Instead, he integrates empirically. Our scientists for a very long time trying to integrate all the four forces existing in nature into a one force. Yes, I am going to talk about grand unified theory in brief. Actually, this theory was put forth by a Pakistani scientist Abdus Salam using standard particle model of elementary particles. And for this he was awarded Nobel Prize in the year 1979. This model is based on standard particle model, and this model tries to explain or describe the universe in a single framework. That means it combined all the three forces existing in nature, namely electromagnetic, weak and strong forces at high energies into a single force. This unified field theory is an attempt to describe all fundamental forces and the relationship between the elementary particles in terms of a single theoretical framework. So this has been happening for a very long time. So it all began with Maxwell. Maxwell tried to unify magnetism and electricity into a classical electromagnetism, and he was somewhat successful also. Then came Einstein, and he tried to unify the electromagnetism with the gravity, but he was not successful. Then Glashow, Salam and Weinberg theoretically tried to unify electromagnetism with strong nuclear forces. So according to them, as the strong nuclear force get weaker and weaker, the electroweak force strengthens at very high temperature, thus resulting in the grand unification energy. The value of the grand unification energy is greater than 10 power 12 giga electron volt. We all know the two fundamental particles according to the standard particle model is one is lepton and other one is quarks. Leptons, they do not interact in or participate in any strong interaction, but quarks does do. So how can we make leptons also participate in strong interaction? So their theoretical prediction is, or they treat the quarks and leptons as a fundamentally similar particle at a very high energies. So to transform quark into a leptons or lepton into a quark, a new color and flavor is needed. So GUT, that is the grand unification theory, combined with the gravity results in the theory of everything. Though there are several attempts to prove this, there is no experimental evidence observed so far directly, hence this theory is not yet accepted generally. So this is the schematic diagram of grand unification theory. So from the very long, electricity and magnetism were combined together to form an electromagnetic force. Then we have weak interactions in the nuclear forces. Then they are combined together to make it as an electroweak interaction. Then the electroweak interaction and the strong interactions were combined together to form a grand unified interaction. Now, then we have, on the other hand, we have another force called the gravitational force. So which is a very, very weakest, and it is though it is an ignorable one, but it is an omnipresent. We have two types of gravity. One is the terrestrial gravity, which we observe on our earth. The other one is an astronomical gravity. Together they form gravitational interaction. So when this gravitational interaction combined with a grand unified interaction, it becomes an universal interaction. So this is the grand unified uh, force that will explain the entire universe in a single framework.